Let's bring in Harold Reynolds, Major League Baseball Network analyst, former All-Star second baseman, and he joins us now. HR, how are you?
DP, good morning.
Before I get to the poll question, I do have a problem with some of your stats. Okay?
What you got?
Okay, 1987, Harold Reynolds hit 1 home run. And then 1988, following year, you quadrupled your home run total, HR. And then,
I muscled up.
Well, I'm saying that's
what I hit 4.
Yeah. And then the following year, 0. So something spiked there a little bit. And then the following year after that, you hit 5. Harold, I think there's an asterisk by your home run total of 21 in your major league career.
That's pretty good research right there.
Do you want to admit something right now?
You know what? I learned how to hit as I got older.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wish I had some jumps. I wish I was 25 and I'd be sitting in a mansion about $100 million in my pocket.
Well, that's why Melky Cabrera, that positive drug test cost him probably, $50-60 million because he'd be a free agent coming off this kind of year.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. We say this every time, in this time of drug testing that, you got to be a little bit of a knucklehead to get caught during this period of time. But the payoff is great. But what I liked is that he didn't try to duck it.
Nope.
He said, I took something I shouldn't have taken. So that's the positive. The other part of it is, here's an MVP of the All-Star game. Nobody's fallen through the net. I think the commissioner's done a great job of really there is no star player getting a free pass, and I think the drug testing is working.
But you have this great story with Felix Hernandez throwing a perfect game, and then you get Melky Cabrera testing positive. But, baseball can't win here. It's a catch-22. You catch somebody, but then when you catch somebody who's having an unbelievable year, it also shines the light back on baseball in a negative way to say guys are still cheating and getting away with it, or at least some of them are.
Well, the interesting thing, looking at the day, for me, I was sitting there going, nobody's happier than Melky Cabrera right now because Felix threw the perfect game after all his news came out, or that would be the only story in baseball. So he should be sending Felix a thank you card. But, Felix was phenomenal yesterday. I don't know. It's one of those days in baseball. We have so many crazy things go on in this game, and day to day, nobody expected Melky Cabrera to test positive and Felix to go out and throw a perfect game. So that's why it's the best game out there.
But why
you never know what's going to happen day to day.
Why are we seeing all these great pitching performances?
I think the hitter's approach to hitting is terrible. We've had a generation teaching get deep in the count, take pitches, on-base percentage, walk. If you're trying to get deep in the count in the big leagues, you're going to go out. You're getting to this guy's out pitch. I've never understood that. I didn't sit there and face Nolan Ryan and go, I can't wait to get 2 strikes. It doesn't make any sense. You attack a guy, and they've played a passive game for probably the last 5-6 years.
I also think that these pitchers aren't afraid now to throw a strike. And they used to nibble on the corners. Now you can actually challenge somebody, and chances are the ball will stay in the ballpark.
Well, the ballparks have helped, but also I think to give the pitchers credit, I've never seen more pitchers with as dominant stuff as we see today. I mean, every bullpen, there's 5 or 6 guys coming out throwing 95. It's just overpowering stuff. I mean, you've never seen this kind of arsenal coming out of bullpens, and I think day in and day out it's a huge challenge. So the stuff is better, the kids are bigger. I just think they're better, but I also think their approach is terrible at the plate.
He's Harold Reynolds, Major League Baseball Network analyst, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Plus, I think if you look at King Felix's strikeouts, and what did he have, 12? I think all 12 were on some type of breaking ball.
It was amazing. In spring training this year, I got a chance to talk to him. I said, what's your best pitch? And he said, all 5. And I go, what? And he said, hey, I can throw it at any time I want in the count with any pitch. And that's what we saw yesterday. His fastball, his curveball, his slider, his split, his changeup. And he had a velocity he hadn't had in a long time. He was throwing 96 yesterday, and we hadn't seen that in probably 2 or 3 years. And real quick, I saw him about a month ago in Seattle. And in spring training, he was thin as a rail. I said, "What are you doing? Getting ready for GQ magazine?" And then I saw him about a month and a half ago. He put his weight back on. He said, "Hey, I had no booty, man. I had no drive, no leverage on fastball. I had to put weight back on to get the fastball." And if you look at what he's done the last 12 outings, he's been amazing.
Wait, did he actually say booty?
He did say booty. I had to put some booty on. You got to have the legs and some booty. That's what he told me. I'm just quoting him.
If you were the GM of the Nationals, what can you do now with Strasburg?
Well, he's put this light on this thing that's really made it kind of an eyesore. The only thing I think they can do right now is pull him back and maybe do what the Yankees did with CC Sabathia, just put him on a DL for 15 days. Even though he's not hurt to where he can't pitch, the Yankees just said, "Look, we're going to have you when we make a run." Steven Strasburg's an interesting story. He's coming off of Tommy John, so I get it. If it's a health thing and you want to keep him healthy, you put the pitch limit or the innings or whatever. But on the other side of it, if you're worried about we're going to do this whole like Java rules type of thing, then I don't understand it. You don't have an opportunity every year to be the best team in baseball, and they have that chance right now. They do not win the playoffs first round or any round if he doesn't pitch.
But here,
they're done.
I can't have him in uniform during the postseason if you make it there, because the temptation would be too great to have him, and you want to have somebody else on the roster, don't you, instead of Strasburg?
Yeah, if he's not going to pitch, you got to not have him on the roster. I mean, I agree. It's a great point.
What about?
But I still stand by. It's not every day you get a chance to be in the postseason. Look at Cal Ripken, for example. They win the World Series his first year. He has a Hall of Fame career. He plays every day. I do everything I can, and he never gets a chance to win another one. You just don't know.
I saw where the mothership, maybe it was Jason Stark, who said that Aroldis Chapman is your leading Cy Young candidate in the National League. You got a problem with him being there?
No, I don't have a problem with a closer like that. He's been real dominating stuff. That would be the only time I'd even consider a pitcher for MVP, because I look at it like a guy who plays basically every day.
Well, I was talking about Cy Young.
A lot of games.
Oh, so you're factoring him for MVP as well?
I'm not factoring him in, but I'm looking at. I had a hard time with Verlander last year, and Justin and I talked about that. But I can't see where a starting pitcher who pitches once every 5 days is an MVP. I can't see it.
Ever.
But a guy like a Mariano Rivera or what Chapman's doing that's affecting 60, 70, 80 games, I can start to have a little bit of a conversation with MVP.
No, I didn't have any problem with Verlander. It's just like Pedro. I mean, Pedro got robbed of the MVP. I mean, you have to admit that, HR.
He was great.
Oh, he was.
But I have a hard time admitting giving a pitcher.
He was spectacular. So you know what we did? It was, we can't give it to a pitcher, so we'll give it to Pudge Rodriguez.
Well, that was tough.
Yes, it was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong.
But the National League Cy Young, Aroldis Chapman, he's making a good run.
Okay, but
no
he's
doubt.
pitching 57 innings right now. I think Chapman has close to 60 innings. Verlander, over 200 he would be at this point last year.
Yeah. You got a good argument, but I'm sticking to mine. Sticking to my argument. I don't know. Maybe that's just my old school thinking.
Good to visit with you, and, you're going to have to answer questions about that home run total.
Yeah, you put me on blast now. I have to do that.
Good to visit.
Great stuff in the Olympics, by the way. It was awesome. Your coverage was tremendous. NBC should be applauded. And you guys did a great job breaking the studio stuff up. It was awesome.
Thank you, HR. I appreciate it. Good to talk to you, bud.
Okay.
All
right, DP. Thanks, buddy.
All right, Harold Reynolds, Major League Baseball Network.